What's going on, everybody? It's XC10 guy here, and I'm excited today because we're finally going to build the motor mounts for this Chevy Dually with the Cummins swap in it. My goal is I'm going to take those motor mounts back there, cut the rubber out the center and weld them solid. That way we can bring the engine down. We got plenty of room to do it, but my issue is if you look over here, hood clearance is kind of iffy. So the goal is we get those motor mounts down. That way we can get everything to fit under the stock hood, because we don't want to be modifying the hood. We want this thing to look as original as possible. That way people don't really know what's under the hood unless we tell them. Alright, well, we got some bad news today. So, built these motor mounts, go try to install them, and we find out they don't thread in like the original ones we had on it do. So now we're going to go in and try to figure out how we're going to go about this and get it to thread in, because that's all of our adjustments on the motor mounts. We got a nice solid weld on it, but there's just nothing we can do at this point. We're hoping to have it done today. Looks like we're going to get pushed back till tomorrow. Once we get that on, we're going to try to bolt the radiator support and the grill and everything back on the front. That way, as soon as we get the brackets for the AC and the alternator, we can slap this truck together and try to fire it up. But until next time, good morning, everybody. This is Bryce, XC10 guy again. Today, I'm going to try to get these motor mounts installed on this Cummins swap for good. Kept running into issues, kept having motor mounts not fit, they sat too high, or they wouldn't line up with what we needed to. So today, I'm going to try to take a set and just make them work. I might have to weld a couple things on, get the positioning correct, and then we're going to see what we can do from there. So far, we don't have a lot going on down in there. We got these motor mounts off of Thunderbird that had a big block forward in it. I'm going to try to get those bolted into the frame, get them lined up, and get the motor set down on them and see if it's going to work out. Alright, good morning, everybody. If y'all don't know who I am, I'm Bryce, XC10 guy. Today, we're going to be working on this Cummins swap dually. We've had many failed attempts in the past week on these motor mounts, and I think we finally figured out something that's going to work. We just have to bolt it down basically now, get it positioned, drill a few holes, and get it bolted in. So we got some motor mounts off of a old Thunderbird that had a big block Ford engine in it. Looks like it's gonna work pretty well. We just have to, like I said, we just have to get some holes drilled and get it bolted in. And then if we can get that done, we're gonna get the harmonic balancer tightened up, and then throw the radiator support back on and start mocking everything up. If we can get all that done, we'll be on our way to having this truck running here in a few weeks, which will be good for me because I need it out of my driveway. Alright, so we're going to get this engine pulled out so we can get to the frame, drill some holes, try to figure out how to bolt these mounts down. So here's where we stand now. We got about halfway out. Forgot to get the camera out, so I'm going to set it on the jack now, on the hoist, and we'll record this. Spider camera, spider camera. You good?
Yeah, it's on me.
See if you can push this that way and then we can sit down without it. Alright. That one might be the one we have to hit the top on. Well, this one we could probably, we can get all 3 bolts open this one. This one I'm worried about bolting down more anyways.
Might be able just to cut here and slide that bolt up in there.
Yeah. So we got a pretty unorthodox way of marking your holes. This spray paint never hurt nobody. So we gotta drill these holes here and that one, and when you get to the bolts on the back side without having to do anything crazy. This one's gonna take a little more finesse to get right, but we're gonna give it a go.
Do what? How the hell is that person? No, it goes like here. Whoops. Mark this hole. Maybe drill it a section of that. Open it, we won't be on it. The bolt be there forever. Just cut it. Not really, we can drill it. You got something to drill through. I drill it that way we can slide the bolt up in there. Let me do these other ones with this bit first.
Alright, so a little update here. We finally got it bolted in for good. I'm not pulling it out again, I'm not doing none of that. As you can see there, it's all bolted in, snugged up on both sides. We got the harmonic balancer tightened up. Now we're going to try to get the radiator support back on so I can start mounting the radiator and the intercooler on here. Once that's done, it's just hooking everything up. Waiting on the bracket still for the accessories. We got to buy a new AC compressor even once the brackets get here, but yeah, we'll start with that and we'll see what happens. Alright, so we got the motor bolted in, we got the radiator support on. That's about all we're gonna do for today. We're gonna call it a day. Kind of wrap everything up. Already got all the tools and stuff put up in the garage, but let me just kind of show you what we got. Pretty happy about this. We got plenty of clearance for our fan and our radiator. We're gonna have to modify this lower piece right here. I'm gonna cut that out, build custom brackets for the radiator, but once we get that in there, it'll be all set to go. Then we'll put the intercooler behind it and the AC condenser. Get everything in there, try to get it all wrapped up, buttoned up, because once we get that done, then we start working on the exhaust and the drive shaft, the air intake, putting the batteries back in the truck, all that good stuff. And if we get it to that point, we can fire it up and go take it for a test drive. So we're still waiting on the brackets, like I said earlier. Once those are in, we're going to get the AC compressor and the alternator hooked up, get the belts routed, get the fan shroud in, get the fan on, the radiator in, get all that stuff in there, hook up the AC lines, hook up the condenser, then wire the motor in, alternator, all the sensors, oil pressure, water temp. And then yeah, I gotta buy a transmission mount, get the cross member bolted in and put where we need it since we got the motor finally done. After that's done, we'll take the measurements to go take the drive shaft down, have the drive shaft made. And we'll buy an exhaust from Summit Racing that they sell for the Dodge trucks. And then we're gonna modify it to fit on this truck. Hopefully, I'm gonna buy it for the single cab long bed Dodge. Hopefully it'll come out. We can get the exhaust out the back on here like I want to. Other than that, that's all I got for today. It's been an awesome day. We've got this work done that we've been working a long time at after 3 or 4 attempts that didn't turn out as hot as we planned. We should be good to go. Until next time, we'll see you later.